The North has been seeing a range of climate changes in the last few years, from milder temperatures, changing sea levels, and the loss of ice. Our web reporter Danielle Paradis and Iqaluit video journalist Trevor Wright had traveled to the Arctic last October. Danielle has been working hard on putting together a podcast on what she experienced while there. The Place That Thaws launched this past Monday on your favorite player. Before Danielle joins us, here's a clip from The Place That Thaws.
As someone who has lived in Iqaluit the majority of her life, she's also worried about the changing weather patterns.
What I noticed is that there's less snow, more wind. Yeah. There used to be so much mountains of snow, and now it's not so much anymore.
Thanks for joining us, Danielle. So that was a clip from your podcast, The Place That Thaws. How did the idea for the podcast come up?
Yeah, producer Mark Blackburn and I had wanted to do something on the North and climate change for a while, but we also wanted to focus on narrative. So a lot of climate discussion out there is very science focused and not very community focused. So we decided that it'd be really important to make it a story that even if you don't care that much about climate change, I think you should, but if you don't, you can still get something out of the podcast. You can hear about many changes that are going on in the North, be it cultural or climate or otherwise.
And yourself and our Iqaluit VJ Trevor Wright headed up to the Arctic last year. How was that experience for you?
It was a really amazing experience. Now, Trevor is in the Arctic all the time, but we moved up to the high Arctic, so even for him it was a bit of a trek. You're up above the tree line, so when we are in either Iqaluit or Grise Fjord, there's no trees around. It's just tundra as far as you can see, and water and ice. And we were also lucky enough to be able to see polar bears, so that was a really memorable experience.
And what did you learn from putting this podcast together?
I learned that there is so much to the North, and it's so much an integral part of the story of Canada. So people were moved into these communities, Iqaluit Bay and Grise Fjord, from Inukjuak in northern Quebec. And they were moved because Canada wanted to establish that it has sovereignty over the Arctic. So, generations now of people have actually made quite a significant sacrifice to help buttress the sovereignty in the Arctic. And now with climate change, you're seeing a lot of their environment change. You have coastal erosion. Hunting is good right now as animals move north to avoid warm waters, but you do see the potential for change, and you see the need to make sure that these communities are funded so that they can adapt.
And what do you want people to take away from this series?
I really like to look at it as a love letter to the North from me. I absolutely loved my time up there. I can't wait to go back. There's photos that we have up on our website that are just incredible. The people were amazing. They were warm. They were welcoming. You drop into this community of 120 to 170 people, and you're just walking around town. That's pretty weird, but people really put up with us and gave us some great quotes, some great conversation, and some really great perspective.
Well, we'll have to leave it there, Danielle, but looking forward to hearing the rest of this series come out. The first episode was fantastic. I listened to it earlier this morning, and it's nice that you inject humor into the podcast as well as telling people's stories.
Thank you.